Okay.
We'll get started in 20 minutes. Thanks for joining us. Thank you for joining the pre-orientation welcome webinar. And good afternoon, good morning, and good evening, depending on where you're joining us from. We appreciate you taking the time to connect with us today, and we look forward to meeting you in January. We will use this webinar to introduce you to some key aspects of orientation and the student experience to help you prepare for your arrival. Today, you will hear from the Office of Student Affairs representing community and academic programs, as well as the Career Management Center. We will share content for about 25 minutes and then have 20 minutes of question and answer. If you have any questions throughout the webinar, please share them using the chat function, and we will address them during the Q&A portion. To start, we'd like to introduce today's presenters. I'm Joan Carrigal. I work in the Office of Student Affairs, often referred to as OSA. I'm a part of the Student Life and Engagement team, focusing primarily on signature programs. Also joining us from OSA is...
Hi, I'm Rachel Dopkins. I'm the Senior Associate Director of Advising and Academic Success, also in the Office of Student Affairs, but on the academic side.
And I'm Tricia Bayoni, the Director of Career Education and Advising in the Career Management Center, also known as the CMC.
I'd now like to provide a brief introduction to the Office of Student Affairs. OSA is here to support you throughout your entire academic and community experience at CBS. As you will see, there are two branches to our team. One is Academic Affairs, your primary resource for academic-related offerings, programs, and support. You will hear more regarding academic affairs in a few minutes from your colleague, Rachel. From my colleague, Rachel. The other side of our team is Student Life and Engagement. We work with student groups in clubs, community initiatives, events, and orientation. With orientation quickly approaching, we'd like to highlight some pre-arrival information to review. As you're well aware, orientation is exactly 2 months away with the official start of orientation on Monday, January 14th. You have already and will continue to receive important updates and information via newsletters with information from our various stakeholders. And managing your CBS to-do list is critical at this point to make sure you get off to a good start in January. So ensure your housing is settled, accept financial aid awards and apply for loans. Purchase your laptop and follow the self-configuration instructions that will be sent from the ITG department. Be sure to upload your photo for your student ID as well as your student directory photo, which is used for faculty pictorial rosters, as well as networking here on campus, and complete your pre-arrival academic self-assessments and supplementary readings. Be sure to also complete the university pre-arrival tutorial that will come from Columbia University via email shortly. And lastly, please update your resume into the CBS format. We also understand that several of you will be coming from outside the New York area and even outside the United States. With that, we recommend that you arrive early and give yourself time to get ready and settled here in New York City before the program officially begins. A bit more on orientation. Our new student orientation program is designed around the three main gears of the student experience: academic, careers, and community. With this, we have set the following learning outcomes for participating students. 1, that you will understand what it means to be a good citizen here at Columbia University and Columbia Business School. 2, that you will understand and be able to utilize the resources available to you through your tenure related to academics, careers, and community. And 3, that you will understand the 3 elements of leadership as an individual, team, cluster mate, and as a CBS community member. Overall, our goal is to acclimate you to the CBS culture and the 3 main areas of the CBS experience. Lastly, some key takeaways for orientation. The daytime programming is mandatory and typically runs approximately 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. throughout the 2-week period of time. This includes your lead exam, which will occur on Monday, January 28th. The majority of the program is for our new MBA students, but there are family-friendly events throughout the week sponsored by the Better Halves group. And families are welcome to join Monday's welcome reception, which will occur in the evening. We have shared a block schedule at this time so you can get a sense for the 2 weeks. This can be found on the admitted student website. OSA will release a detailed schedule in January along with the instructions to download our official orientation app. Again, we look forward to meeting you shortly here on campus, and if you have any questions as you prepare for orientation, please email us at osa@gsb.columbia.edu. I'd now like to introduce my colleague Rachel, who will share information around academic affairs and pre-arrival assignments.
Our Academic Affairs Department works with students on everything academic, such as course bidding, enrollment, course scheduling, and exams. The Advising and Academic Success team provides guidance on academic resources, ESL, and core class tutoring, along with academic advisement. We also partner with Counseling and Psychological Services and the Office of Disabilities to coordinate holistic student support. We're here for you leading up to your arrival and throughout your time at CBS to answer your questions and provide support. A little over a month ago, you received directions from Wei Zhang, Vice Dean of Curriculum and Instruction, about assignments and resources available on Canvas. There are 2 buckets of pre-MBA assignments featured in the Academic Resources course. The first are those that are designed to ensure preparation for your MBA core courses and academic success at CBS. The Excel and Math Skills section of Academic Resources provides assessments, training, and resources on these topics. For those with less experience in these areas, it is vital for you to begin your learning early and practice often before coming to campus. We'll revisit additional math and Excel resources in a few moments. The business terms section are Wikipedia-style articles featuring CBS professors and business terms you should know. This section is designed for students to increase their business vocabulary and become familiar with the terms which will be used in the core. This is most useful to those with little to no business background, while students who have extensive business experience can merely skim this section. Lastly are the accounting, corporate finance, and statistics materials, which provide a sneak peek of what you will learn in class. While not required, this may assist you in keeping up with the fast pace in the core, particularly for those from non-quantitative backgrounds. The next area of academic resources I'll only highlight briefly. Leadership Lab and Individual Business and Society contain assignments that will prep you for various orientation activities. For now, please be sure to complete the Kutri assessment by December 12th. All other assignments and readings are also due on this date. As I mentioned earlier, we have a full menu of math and Excel resources to prepare for your core courses. Your engagement with these resources and workshops ensures your academic success. Moving forward, if you have not already done so, it is essential that you complete the math and Excel assessments ASAP, as the deadline has passed. For all students who completed these assessments, you have received a next steps email based on your results on the Excel and Math Skills assessment, suggesting which lynda.com and Khan Academy resources you should complete, along with providing details on recommended workshops to attend. On January 9th and 10th, we offer the Jumpstart Pre-Orientation Introductory Level Workshops for Math, Excel, and PowerPoint. These workshops are open to all students who wish to attend, but do note that they will be focused on beginner level Math, Excel, and PowerPoint skills. We do not recommend you attend these workshops if you have a professional background using Math, Excel, or PowerPoint. There will be later opportunities for you to expand your expertise, including the mandatory Excel workshop during orientation. And these particular workshops are only geared towards beginners and students who need help with these topics. So as I mentioned, mandatory Excel workshops and an optional workshop on math will take place during orientation. Based on your Excel self-assessment results and background experience, you may also select the option of taking an exemption test for the Excel orientation workshops. If you do so, remember that the deadline is December 12th for the Excel exemption test submission. While we provide advice on which workshop level you might want to attend, this option is completely open to you. You can select whichever section you like the topics in. CBS also offers a variety of exemption exams for core courses online. Students have given us feedback that they prefer to be able to take exemption exams online. So as a result, this is now our option to take them online. The online exemption exam period has already begun to give students the opportunity to complete these before arriving to campus and getting swept up in orientation. The exemption exams for first semester core classes, which includes both A-term and B-term core classes, will be closing on December 28th before your arrival to campus. So please be sure to schedule time to take any and all exemption exams that you will need for your core classes in the spring semester. From now until December 28th is the only window to attempt to exempt your first semester core classes. There are various pros of exempting. Students are strongly encouraged to attempt to exempt from courses in which they have pertinent academic or professional background, because it enables them to have more flexibility to take the courses which will be most fulfilling of their time at CBS and their careers. It also adds to our core course culture of being prepared, present, and participating when students are engaged in content that is appropriate to their knowledge and experience level. You may attempt an exemption exam and then later choose not to use your exemption pass. Additionally, if you do not exempt, there is no penalty. Students who exempt multiple core courses may have less classroom contact with their clusters, but they will still be involved with their clusters through many other community channels. Please pay close attention to the honor code guidelines before preparing for any exemption exams. Lastly, we have our advising and academic success team here for pre-arrival support. Academic advisors empower CBS students to take action on their academic goals, registration strategy, and course selections by sharing resources and guidance to help make students make informed academic decisions. Each advisor is assigned to a specific academic cluster. You will learn who your dedicated advisor is and your pre-enrolled core class schedule during the first days of orientation when your cluster is assigned. Rest assured that during orientation and throughout your entire CBS experience, your advisors will share important resources and academic information integral to your academic success. As you prepare to begin your studies at CBS, the advising team welcomes you to visit the Academic Advising and Degree Planning page on campus. There, you'll find useful information on topics such as degree requirements, course registration, and academic policies, as well as the Introduction to Academics module, which you will complete before orientation. You'll receive more information about advising and the Introduction to Academics module in the next newsletter you'll receive later this week. We look forward to working with you over the next 2 years. I'll now pass things on to Tricia from the CMC.
Thank you, Rachel. From technology to finance, real estate to social enterprise, CBS graduates are making an impact across industries and sectors. And the CMC empowers you to achieve these lifelong career ambitions. It's through on-campus recruiting, your own skillful networking, job postings that come through COIN, the CMC's proprietary career board, you're able to find full-time opportunities across the globe. And what I want to introduce you today is how you'll work with the CMC and what to expect from us. There's a whole team of career advisors who will provide you education and one-on-one guidance on the job search, as well as your leadership capabilities. In addition, there's a full employer relations team that's developing and maintaining relationships with employers both here in the US and throughout the world. Some of these employers will come on campus to conduct interviews here. The majority, however, are going to come through presentations, on-campus job postings, or hosting students on treks. In addition, we build a culture of shared career support throughout CBS, not only with OSA, whom you've just heard from, but also all of the centers and programs and with your faculty. And as always, the active network of more than 46,000 alumni are going to play a central role in your job search. I want to spend a few minutes amplifying this ecosystem of career support. In particular, the framework that we call your core ACE team: advisors, CMC coaches, and CMC fellows, and the execs and residents. You'll learn more about each of these groups when you arrive on campus, but the way you can think about it is the advisors will provide you expertise on your career development and job search strategy skills. CMC fellows are second-year students who will provide peer-to-peer career advice. They've just been through the process. CMC coaches are alumni who can provide you with on-the-job perspective. And executives and residents are C-suite level executives who are here to provide you with one-on-one support as well. But thinking about how this ecosystem works throughout the school, it's really bridging theory to practice, with faculty sitting at the intersection of this theory in bringing you classwork that will be directly applicable to on-the-job success. More on this when you arrive during orientation. Looking at your timeline for what you can expect, the J-term full-time job search will be a marathon rather than a sprint. You will be working on what do you want to do when you graduate as self-assessment, exploring the variety of careers through some pre-MBA to-do list activities, as well as when you first arrive on campus. You'll be working on your professional branding, including your resume and your interview pitch, which is the answer to tell me about yourself. And of course, you're going to be networking both here at CBS and out in the world with firms and all of the 46,000 alumni. On-campus interviews will be in the fall, and while that seems quite far away to you now, it actually can come up quite quickly and when you least expect it. So being aware of why you're coming to CBS and what you want to do with your career is pivotal to understanding the opportunities that you're going to apply for and interview for in only 10 short months. I wanted to further augment the job search to show you when our class of 2018 received their offers. You can see that many of them did receive offers prior to their second year on campus, but the majority did receive an offer during their second year. In fact, over 50% are still in the job search from December 1st forward, with 15% of students finding opportunities within the 3 months post-graduation. We do have an extremely high job offer rate of 94% 3 months post-graduation, which is the industry standard. So you can rest assured that this marathon will result in a positive outcome for you, provided that you put the work into it necessary to find success. But what can you do now? First, leverage the Career Management Center course that's on Canvas. You're going to want to take Career Leader. This 1 hour-long self-assessment tool will ask you about your interests, skills, values, and recommend about 20 areas of business that may be a fit based on your inputs. This is a great place for you to start in thinking about what you would like to do post-graduation. As Joan mentioned earlier, you want to put your resume into the Columbia Business School format now and update the content as well after reviewing the best practices worksheet that we've provided for you on Canvas. Once your resume is in format, you can upload it to the VMOC Smart Resume tool. This software will provide you quantitative and qualitative advice about how to improve your resume, including bullet-by-bullet suggestions. It's not going to change it for you, and you can incorporate as you see fit. Once you arrive on campus, you'll be able to work one-on-one with a CMC advisor or CMC fellow to customize your bullets to target the industries and functions that you're pursuing. You also want to begin your research. That term sounds vague. We have provided you hundreds of alumni videos broken into industry-specific content with no videos longer than 3 to 5 minutes. These quick nuggets of second-year students will give you overview of industry, what to expect in recruiting, and more. Start there because it's an easy way to rule in and, more importantly, rule out potential opportunities. In addition to the videos, we have one-page industry overviews that will show you select hiring companies. And we also have a fit and feasibility framework that will be available soon. So if you identify an area of opportunity, you can then take a look to see would it make sense based on your background. We have a welcome advisor survey that's really important that you respond to as soon as possible and no later than December 14th. This very short 2-minute survey is going to ask you your industry, function, and geographical preference and will help to match you with a CMC advisor that best aligns with your targeted goals. You will be assigned a welcome advisor, and once you arrive on campus for orientation January 14th, you will have access to COIN, the recruiting platform. Through there, you'll be able to schedule a one-on-one appointment with your assigned welcome advisor, and appointments will begin January 28th. After your first appointment with your welcome advisor, you'll be invited to sign up with any advisor of your choosing. And finally, update your LinkedIn profile, because as you start exploring CBS alumni on LinkedIn, they're going to be looking at you as well. So make sure that your LinkedIn profile has a professional headshot, as well as includes all of your relevant professional experience and interests. This is your first step in networking and absolutely can be done right now. With that, I would like to turn it back over to Joan for some important deadlines.
Thank you, Tricia. At this point, I'd like to highlight some important dates and upcoming deadlines. As you'll see here, there is one item left to accomplish throughout the rest of the month of November. And moving into December, there are some important university requirements that you'll need to go ahead and take care of before your time here at CBS, as well as some academic-related items that Rachel mentions that will need to be completed before the orientation program begins in January. Moving into January, there are some deliverables and workshops that will help you prepare for the orientation program, as well as prepare you for your overall MBA experience. With that, all this information is on the to-do list, and this visual of the upcoming deadlines and important dates can be accessed on the admitted student website. Before moving into Q&A, I wanted to note that this webinar will be recorded and will be posted on the admitted student website shortly. At this time, we'll shift to Q&A.
So one question coming through here is, when can I have an internship? Would it be possible to have one in the summer term?
Thank you for that question. It may be possible to have one in the summer term with some notable exceptions. First, if you are an international student attending on an F1 visa, you are not legally able to work in the United States until you've completed 2 full academic terms as determined by the university's calendar. What that means is if you are an international student on an F1 visa, your first opportunity for an in-semester internship would be the start of second year, which would be September 4th. If you are a domestic student hoping to have a summer internship, it may be possible given your academic calendar. During a term, which will be the month of June, you'll not be able to have one because you'll have key class requirements. During the July time, when you have your 4 consecutive block weeks, you may be able to arrange your elective schedule to be able to accommodate an internship. However, it's important to note that those internships are going to be most likely with startups or with enterprise opportunities, more project-based and less formal programs. Formal programs such as a consulting internship or an investment banking internship, you are not able to participate in because of your academic requirements and because those industries will be hiring their interns prior to your arrival at CBS. So yes, it is possible to have a summer internship provided you are eligible to work in the United States and that you are able to accommodate your academics and electives such that you would be able to give quality time to an employer. Quality time can be defined as about 20 hours of work a week, and that might take up 2 to 3 days.
Another CMC question coming through here is a CMC welcome advisor necessary for a sponsored student?
It can be very helpful to you. One thing to think about is not just what's your first job post-MBA, and in the case of a sponsored student, you're returning to your employer, but what's going to be your next step after that employer? Most likely you will be in the job search at some point after MBA. Typically, students will change jobs 2 to 3 years after they graduate. And so meeting with a CMC advisor during your time here at CBS can be really helpful in thinking about what is going to be your next step and what are the activities that you can do while you're at CBS that will position you well for that future job search in terms of building experience as well as building skills within the classroom.
And an academic question coming through here. It just says, I'm not sure if I want to exempt from marketing in the B term. Can I make that decision once I'm on campus?
So all core class exemption exams must be taken by the December 28th deadline for your first semester core classes. If you're not sure that you want to exempt a core class, you can always take the exemption exam and make that decision of whether or not to re-enroll in the class at a later time. But it's really important that you complete any exemption exam for a course that you're planning on taking in your first semester before the December 28th deadline. You'll have future opportunities to take elective exemption exams later on, along with operations management, which is a second semester core class. But for any core class taking place in the first semester, it must be completed before you arrive.
And from that, when will I know if I've exempted from a class?
We'll be notifying students of their exemption status the week prior to orientation. However, you will receive your core course schedule on the first day of orientation. Giving you the exemption exam results a little bit earlier will enable you to plan out what classes you're thinking of taking once you find your core class schedule.
And another question here related to orientation a little bit. How early would you suggest to arrive in New York for an international student?
I would suggest a week prior to get settled, especially if you plan into moving to any housing. If you are working with Columbia Housing, definitely outreach to see how much earlier you can arrive.
And I'm an international student. Will I be allowed to participate in the small business consulting program in my first year?
Yes, absolutely. Small Business Consulting Program is a student club on campus. And through that club, you have the opportunity to do a consulting project with a company together with 4 or 5 of your classmates. It's absolutely a fantastic opportunity for you to get some experience that is in the real world as part of a club activity, and that would not be in violation of your F1 visa.
With respect to obtaining an internship as an international student on an F1 visa, are we also precluded from taking an unpaid internship prior to September 2019?
That would be correct. The US law is very clear for international students on F1s that you may not receive pay in the US prior to the 2 semesters. For unpaid internships, US law is also somewhat clear that the definition of an internship that is permissible under law for not pay would be more of an apprenticeship. Bottom line, it's something that would not derive value for the business. It could be for a nonprofit. But by and large, the type of internships that the government would consider legal that are unpaid are ones that MBA students are unlikely to want to have. Now, the risk for these unpaid internships is entirely on the company. If you are a domestic student and it is found that your internship is in violation of the law, the company would owe you back pay. And that is a benefit for you and a result of a legal case that came out a few years ago. However, if you're an international student on a visa and it's found that you are working in violation of your visa, while the risk is on the company, there is gray area as to the risk for you. What we are finding in these heightened political times around immigration policies is that there can be more scrutiny around work authorization. And so it could potentially put your visa in jeopardy while you're here. It could also put in jeopardy a future H-1B process or a future green card process. Given the heightened uncertainty and the political climate, it is ill-advised for an international student to take an unpaid internship. We are just unsure of what the risks are, but we absolutely can work with you one-on-one to determine what your preferences are, but I would not take an unpaid internship if you're an international student without first being in contact with the advisors who specialize in international affairs, and that would be Mike DeLucia and Vaiju Manian or myself, Trisha Bayoni.
What kind of laptop do you advise? I'm a heavy Excel and PowerPoint user. Should I stick to Windows or switch to Mac, given how often I will use Excel and PowerPoint?
While ITG supports both Mac and PCs, we do advise that you go the PC route if you are buying a new computer. If you're using a Mac, you'll be running a Windows environment on your Mac, which could, slow down your Mac. You could, there are a lot of aspects of Excel that just run better in a native PC environment. For more information, you may reach out to the Information Technology Group at stup@gsb.columbia.edu.
So this is a question about the H-1B lottery, and I'm not sure if it might be better for ISSO, but just asking for international students, how many chances at the H-1B lottery will we have before we have to leave the US?
Excuse me. This is a good question for ISSO, but I can give you a high-level overview of it. As an international student, you are going to be eligible for OPT, Optical Practical Training, and that is good for 12 months post-graduation. What this means is that your first chance at the H-1B lottery will be under the undergraduate cap as it takes place in April prior to your graduation. That's chance number one. And then leveraging OPT as a bridge to the next H-1B lottery, you'll have a second chance at the H-1B lottery in the April following your graduation under the master's cap. There are some instances where there may be an additional opportunity available. Those are unique circumstances best discussed with Mike DeLucia as well as with ISSO. But by and large, the majority of students will have two opportunities at the H-1B lottery.
If there aren't any additional questions anymore?
Oh, one more just came through. Can we join the value investing program as J-termers? If so, can you describe the timeline for joining and how the classes integrate with the schedule?
The value investing program begins in the second year of your MBA experience. I strongly advise you to take a look at the Halpern Center Value Investing page on the website. If you just search for value investing on the GSB website, then you'll find a PowerPoint that explains the complete process in full and also the point of contact in the Halpern Center for you to obtain more information.
How can I meet my future classmates before pre-orientation week? Is there any directory of contact to contact them, or those who are from my same country? How do we connect?
There is a Facebook page available which admissions regulates, and that's something that you can request access to via the admitted student website. If you're having trouble accessing that, definitely reach out to osa@gsb.columbia.edu and we'll put you in contact with the proper people. If that's all the questions, thanks again so much for joining us. Feel free to email OSA and we'll put you in contact with anybody who's unable to answer your question.